Chapter 1. The Last Drawing, Cambridge, Massachusetts, September 3rd, 2029. 3:47 a.m. Andrew Mitchell woke to his phone screaming. Not ringing. Screaming. That's what it sounded like in the dark. A shriek that dragged him from a dream he couldn't remember into a reality he didn't want. His hand found the phone. Screen brightness stabbed his eyes. Caller. Dad. His father never called at 3 a.m. His father never called at all unless Andrew called first. Andrew's thumb hit the green button. Dad? A woman's voice. Clinical. Careful. The voice of someone who's delivered bad news before and knows exactly how much emotion to strip out. Mr. Mitchell, this is Dr. Patel from Mass General. I'm using your father's phone. He's listed you as emergency contact. Andrew sat up. The room tilted. What happened? Your father collapsed in his lab approximately 2 hours ago. Massive myocardial infarction. We've been attempting resuscitation, but the world narrowed to a pinpoint. Is he alive? Pause. The pause told him everything. I'm very sorry, Mr. Mitchell. We pronounced him at 3:32 a.m. Andrew's mouth opened. Nothing came out. Next to him, Sarah stirred, mumbled something, rolled over. Mr. Mitchell, I'm here. We need you to come identify the body. But there's something else. Time sensitive. Your father had registered with Eternal Systems. Are you familiar? No. It's a company that offers memory transfer technology. Your father signed a contract 6 months ago, authorizing neural scan and memory transfer in the event of sudden death. He designated you as preferred recipient. Andrew's brain couldn't process the words. Memory transfer. Preferred recipient. I don't understand. Your father wanted his memories transferred to your brain. It's a new technology. FDA approved. But there's a window. We need to perform the neural scan within 6 hours of death, or the brain tissue degrades past viability. That gives you rustling papers. 4 hours and 28 minutes to decide. Decide what? Whether you want to receive your father's memories. Andrew looked at Sarah, still asleep, breathing softly. He looked at the bedroom door. Behind it, down the hall, Emma and Lucas slept in their rooms. Safe. Warm. Dreaming of whatever 7-year-olds and 4-year-olds dream about. What if I say no? He asked. Then your father's memories are lost. His life's work, his research, everything. Gone. Andrew closed his eyes, saw his father in his lab. Always in his lab. White coat, safety goggles, chalkboard covered in equations Andrew couldn't understand. Saw family dinners where Dad ate with one hand and wrote formulas with the other. Saw Christmas mornings where Dad gave educational gifts and then disappeared to his study. Saw his college graduation where Dad arrived late and left early because the experiment was at a critical phase. Saw his wedding where Dad's toast lasted 45 seconds and contained the phrase statistically, 50% of marriages end in divorce. But I hope you two beat the odds. Saw Emma's birth where Dad held her for exactly 90 seconds before saying, I should let you rest and leaving. Andrew opened his eyes. What do I get? If I say yes? All of his memories, his knowledge, his expertise, his research. Think of it as inheriting his brain along with his possessions. What's the catch? Another pause. Longer than the first. You should come to the hospital. We'll explain everything in person. Tell me now. Mr. Mitchell, tell me or I'm hanging up. Dr. Patel sighed. The technology is new. There can be side effects, integration issues. We recommend speaking with our neurologist before making any decisions. What kind of side effects? Memory confusion, personality shifts, identity. Will I still be me? Silence. That silence was louder than the phone's earlier scream. Dr. Patel? Yes, of course. You'll still be you. The memories integrate with your existing personality. You don't become him. You just carry him. Andrew heard the hesitation in her voice. The word she didn't say. Usually. I'll be there in 20 minutes. He hung up, sat on the edge of the bed, stared at his hands in the dark. They looked like his father's hands. Same long fingers, same prominent veins, Same scar on the right thumb from a lab accident when Andrew was 12. Dad had been distracted, cut himself opening a chemical container. Didn't even notice until Andrew pointed at the blood. Dad had said, looking at his thumb like it belonged to someone else. I should bandage that. Then went right back to his experiment. Andrew closed his eyes again. This time he saw something different. His last conversation with his father, 3 weeks ago. Sunday dinner at Dad's house. Dad had cooked. Badly. The chicken was dry. The vegetables were mush. But he'd tried. I'm close, Dad had said, pushing food around his plate. 6 months. Maybe less. The quantum fusion model is almost complete. That's great, Dad. If I finish it, clean energy. Unlimited. No carbon. No radiation. Do you understand what that means? I do. The planet is dying, Andrew. We have maybe 10 years before climate change becomes irreversible. This could save everything. Everyone. Andrew had nodded, ate dry chicken, let his father talk about proton collision rates and magnetic containment fields. And then as Andrew was leaving, Dad had grabbed his arm, held it, looked at him with an expression Andrew had never seen before. Fear. Andrew, Dad had said, if something happens to me, nothing's going to happen. But if it does, if I don't finish, promise me. Dad, you're going to finish. You always finish. His father's grip tightened. Promise me you'll find a way. The work is too important. Promise. Andrew had promised. Because it was easier than arguing. Because Dad would never die anyway. Dad was eternal, immortal, a force of nature. Except he wasn't. He was dead on a steel table at Mass General, and Andrew had 4 hours and 28 minutes to decide if he wanted his father's ghost living inside his skull. Sarah's hand touched his back. Andrew? What's wrong? He turned, looked at his wife, her face in the darkness. Familiar. Beautiful. Home. My dad died, he said, and started to cry. 45 minutes later, Mass General Hospital, Cambridge. The hospital smelled like antiseptic and dying flowers. Andrew sat in a consultation room with beige walls and fluorescent lights that made everyone look like corpses. Sarah sat next to him, held his hand. Across the desk, Dr. Patel, emergency physician, and a woman who looked like she hadn't slept in a week. I'm Dr. Rebecca Hayes, the woman said, neurologist with Eternal Systems. I'm sorry for your loss. She didn't look sorry. She looked haunted. Tell me how it works, Andrew said. Dr. Hayes slid a tablet across the desk. On screen, a 3D brain, rotating. We perform a complete neural scan of your father's brain. Every neuron, every synapse, every connection. We capture the pattern that made him, him. You're copying his brain. Essentially, yes. Then we transfer that copy into a neural implant surgically placed here, she pointed to her temple, in your temporal lobe. The transfer happens over 6 to 12 months. Gradual. To avoid overwhelming your neural architecture. What happens during those months? You'll start remembering things from your father's life. Childhood, education, career, research. It'll feel like your own memories at first. By month 6, you'll have full access to his knowledge, his skills, his personality. Dr. Hayes looked at Dr. Patel. Dr. Patel looked away. Yes, Dr. Hayes said. His personality is encoded in the memories. You can't separate them. So I become him. No, you integrate him. Think of it like gaining a second perspective, an internal consultant. You're still you. You just have his expertise available. Sarah squeezed Andrew's hand. What aren't you telling us? She asked. Dr. Hayes met her eyes, and in that moment, Andrew saw it. Guilt. There can be complications, Dr. Hayes said slowly. In a small percentage of cases, the donor personality is stronger than anticipated, more aggressive. It can create conflict. Identity confusion. In rare instances, how rare? Very rare. Numbers. Dr. Hayes pulled up a file. Of 847 transfers completed, 783 reported successful integration. That's 92%. And the other 8%? Complications, requiring additional intervention. What kind of intervention? Psychological counseling, medication. In a few cases, implant removal. How many is a few? Dr. Hayes looked down. 17. Out of 847? Yes, what happened to them? They chose to remove the implant rather than continue integration. And the other 47? The ones with complications who didn't remove the implant? Doctor. Hayes closed the file. They're managing. With support. Andrew felt cold. You're lying. Mr. Mitchell. You're lying. I can see it. What happened to those 47 people? Sarah's hand tightened on his. Doctor. Hayes looked at Dr. Patel again. Dr. Patel stood. I should let you two speak privately. She left. The door clicked shut. Silence. Dr. Hayes sat back. I'm going to tell you the truth, she said, because you deserve to know before you decide. But if you repeat this outside this room, I'll deny it. Eternal systems will deny it. You'll have no proof. Tell me. The 92% success rate is accurate, but our definition of success is flexible. Success means the patient is functional. They can work, form relationships, live a normal life. But in many cases, the patient isn't the same person anymore. The donor personality becomes dominant. The original personality is still there, but quieter, background noise. The patient looks like themselves, sounds like themselves. But their values change, their priorities, their loves. Andrew felt sick. They become the dead person. In some cases, yes. How many? We don't have exact data. Because legally, they're still the original person. Same social security number, same legal identity, even if the consciousness inside has changed. That's insane. That's the law. Consciousness isn't legally recognized as separate from body. So, if your body is Andrew Mitchell, you are Andrew Mitchell, regardless of who's actually driving. Sarah stood. We're leaving. Wait, Dr. Hayes said. I'm not telling you this to scare you away. I'm telling you so you can make an informed choice. The choice is no, Sarah said, obviously. Come on, Andrew. Andrew didn't move. What was my father working on? Dr. Hayes pulled up another file. Quantum fusion. He was 3 to 6 months from completing a working theoretical model. If he'd finished, it could have provided unlimited clean energy, solved the climate crisis, changed everything. Andrew stared at the screen. Equations he didn't understand, but could, if he said yes. Could someone else finish it? He asked. Eventually. Maybe. But your father was decades ahead of the field. Without his research, it could take another generation to reach the same point. By then, the planet is dead. Yes. Andrew looked at Sarah. She was crying. Don't, she whispered. Please don't. He was my father. He was a terrible father. He ignored you your whole life. And now you're going to let him invade your brain? It's not about him. It's about the work. It's always about the work. Sarah's voice broke. Don't you see? You're already becoming him, prioritizing the mission over your family. This isn't about family. This is about 7 billion people. It's about us, Emma and Lucas and me. We're your family. We're real. Those 7 billion people are abstract. Andrew stood, walked to the window. Boston spread out below. Lights in the darkness. Millions of people sleeping, living, dying. His father had spent his life trying to save them, and died with the work unfinished. I need to see him, Andrew said. Morgue. His father looked small on the steel table. Andrew had never thought of Dad as small before. Tall, imposing, larger than life. But death made him small. Gray skin, closed eyes, hands folded on chest. Andrew touched one hand. Cold. So cold. I don't know what to do, Andrew whispered. The body didn't answer. Of course not. Dead men don't speak. But if Andrew said yes, if he opened his skull and let his father's memories pour in, then Dad would speak. Forever. Andrew pulled out his phone, looked at his wallpaper. Photo from last month. Emma and Lucas at the beach. Emma building a sandcastle. Lucas eating sand. Sarah taking the picture, laughing. Perfect moment. Perfect family. If Andrew did this, if he took the transfer, would he remember this moment? Or would it be buried under decades of his father's memories? Would he look at this photo and feel nothing? Just data? Tell me what to do, Andrew said to the corpse. Silence. Then, in his mind, a memory. Not his memory. A memory of a memory. His father, holding infant Andrew, looking down at his face, and thinking, I will give you everything. My knowledge, my work, my legacy, even if it kills me. Andrew pulled his hand away from the corpse, walked out. Sarah waited in the hallway. Well, Andrew looked at his wife, the woman he loved, mother of his children, the center of his life. I'm sorry, he said, and walked toward the surgical prep room. Sarah's scream followed him down the corridor. Chapter 2. The Integration. 2 weeks later, Andrew's home office, the implant sat behind Andrew's right temple. Small, barely visible under his hair, but he could feel it. A foreign object in his skull. A door. And on the other side, his father. Waiting. Andrew sat at his desk, staring at his father's research files on his laptop. 2 weeks ago, these equations were gibberish. Now, he understood. All of it. The quantum field calculations, the proton collision rates, the magnetic containment parameters. It flowed through his mind like water. Natural, obvious, elegant. Except it wasn't his mind. It was his father's mind. Renting space in Andrew's skull. Daddy? Andrew turned. Lucas stood in the doorway. 4 years old. Dinosaur pajamas. Hey, buddy. What are you doing up? Bad dream. Andrew opened his arms. Lucas ran over, climbed into his lap. Andrew held him. Felt his son's small body against his chest. Felt his son's heartbeat, and felt distance, like he was watching through glass. What was your dream about? Andrew asked. A monster. It was chasing me. But then Mommy saved me. Mommy's good at that. Are you good at saving people? Andrew looked at the equations on his laptop. I'm trying to be. From monsters? From worse things than monsters. Lucas looked up at him, studied his face with a child's perfect honesty. You look different. Different how? I don't know. Your eyes are different? Andrew's chest tightened. They're the same eyes, buddy. No, they're old eyes now. Andrew set Lucas down. Go back to bed. I'll come tuck you in a minute. Promise? Promise. Lucas ran out. Andrew sat alone, looked at his reflection in the dark laptop screen. Same face, same eyes. But Lucas was right. They looked older. Andrew's phone buzzed. Text from Dr. Hayes. Check-in appointment tomorrow, 10 a.m. Don't miss it. Important. Andrew deleted the text. He didn't need a check-in. He felt fine. Better than fine. Sharper. Faster. Smarter. The work was going well. He'd already made progress on his father's equations that would have taken Dad weeks, because Andrew had one advantage his father didn't have. Youth. A 35-year-old brain processes faster than a 64-year-old brain. Andrew smiled, opened a new file, started writing. An hour passed, then 2, then 3. Andrew forgot about Lucas. Forgot he'd promised to tuck him in. Forgot about sleep. Forgot about everything except the beautiful, perfect mathematics flowing from his fingertips onto the screen. Somewhere in the house, a door opened, closed. Footsteps in the hall. Sarah appeared in the doorway. Arms crossed. It's 4 a.m. Andrew blinked, looked at the clock. 4:17 a.m. I lost track of time. You promised Lucas you'd tuck him in. He waited for you for an hour. I finally had to do it. I'm sorry. I was working. You're always working. You've been home for 2 weeks and I barely see you. The research is at a critical phase. Listen to yourself. Andrew stopped. What? Listen to what you just said. The research is at a critical phase. That's what your father always said. Those exact words. Andrew felt cold. That's a coincidence, is it? You sound like him. You move like him. Yesterday you were lecturing Emma about her math homework, and you held your pen exactly the way he did. Same angle, same gesture. Sarah, you're disappearing, Andrew, and I don't know how to stop it. She left. Andrew sat in the dark office, alone, not alone. He could feel it now. The presence, his father, not speaking yet, just there, watching, waiting. Andrew closed the laptop, went upstairs. Lucas's room was dark. Andrew stood in the doorway, watched his son sleep, tried to remember why he loved him. The memory was there, but distant, fading, like a photograph left in the sun. Andrew closed his eyes, tried to hold on, but the memories kept slipping, replaced by other memories. His father's memories. Andrew as a child. Andrew in diapers. Andrew's first word. Andrew's first step. No, Andrew thought. Those are Dad's memories of me. Not my memories, but they felt real. More real than his memories of Lucas. Andrew opened his eyes, looked at his son, and couldn't remember his name. Not for a moment. Just a blank space where the name should be. Then it came back. Lucas. His son's name was Lucas. Andrew stumbled out of the room, down the hall, into the bathroom, turned on the light, looked in the mirror. His face stared back, his eyes, his mouth, no, wait, that smile. That was Dad's smile. Andrew wasn't smiling, but his reflection was. Andrew backed away from the mirror, hit the wall, slid down, sat on the cold tile floor, put his head between his knees, and heard for the first time a voice that wasn't his own. Hello, son. Chapter 3. The voice, hello, son. Andrew's head snapped up. The bathroom was empty. Just him. Cold tiles. Fluorescent buzz. Who said that? Silence. He stood, looked in the mirror again. His face. Normal. No smile now. I'm hallucinating, he said out loud. Sleep deprivation, stress, grief. You're not hallucinating. The voice came from inside, behind his eyes, below his thoughts, in the space where his own inner voice usually lived. Except this voice was deeper, older. I've been here for 2 weeks, watching, listening, learning your patterns. I stayed quiet because you weren't ready. But now, no. Now you are. Andrew grabbed the sink, knuckles white. You're not real. You're just memories, data, recordings. If I'm just recordings, then how am I having a conversation with you? How am I responding to things I've never heard before? Andrew's reflection smiled again. He wasn't smiling. Get out of my head. I can't. We're stuck together. Literally. My neural patterns are grafted onto yours. Removing me would be like removing half your brain, Dr. Hayes said the memories would integrate. Not this, Dr. Hayes lied. Or rather, she told you the version Eternal Systems wants you to believe. Want to know the truth? No. You do. That's why you're listening instead of screaming for Sarah. Andrew closed his eyes. Big mistake. Because with his eyes closed, he saw his father. Not a memory, a presence. Standing in the darkness behind Andrew's eyelids. Wearing his old lab coat, safety goggles pushed up on his forehead, chalk dust on his hands, looking exactly as he had the last time Andrew saw him alive. This is just my brain creating a visual representation, Andrew whispered. Psychology 101. The mind generates images to help process abstract information. Or, his father said, you're actually seeing me because I'm actually here. You're dead. My body is dead. But consciousness doesn't live in the body. It lives in the pattern, the connections, the information. You copy that pattern into your brain. So, where do you think I am? Andrew opened his eyes. The bathroom snapped back into focus. This is temporary, he said to his reflection. Doctor, Hayes said there's an adjustment period. A few weeks. Then the personalities merge. Become one. Is that what she said? Yes. Did she show you the data? The long-term studies? The 5-year outcomes? She said 92% success rate. Define success. Andrew didn't answer. Here's what success means. The patient is functional. They can hold a job, pay bills, have conversations, but ask those patients who they are. Ask them their favorite color, their childhood dreams, their fears, and they'll answer with the donor's memories, the donor's preferences, the donor's personality. The original person is gone. That's success. Andrew's hands started shaking. I won't let that happen. You already are. I'll fight you. You are me. How do you fight yourself? Andrew grabbed his phone, called Dr. Hayes. 4:38 a.m. She answered on the first ring. Andrew, her voice was sharp, alert, like she'd been awake. What's wrong? He's talking to me. Silence. The implant. My father. He's talking, having conversations. He's not just memories anymore. When did this start? 20 minutes ago. What's he saying? He's saying he's not going anywhere. He's saying the integration is actually replacement. He's saying, I'm going to disappear. Andrew, listen to me very carefully. What you're experiencing is called emergence. It happens when the donor personality achieves sufficient neural mass to generate independent thought patterns. It's a critical phase. Is he right? Am I going to disappear? Another silence. Longer. She's choosing her words, his father observed. That means the answer is yes. Not if we act quickly, Dr. Hayes said. Come to my office. Now. We can slow the integration. There's a drug. You mean the experimental drug you mentioned before? The one that might kill me? It won't kill you, but it might. The risk is minimal. Compared to what? Compared to losing myself? That's not a risk. That's a certainty. Andrew, he hung up, stood in the bathroom. His phone immediately rang. Dr. Hayes calling back. He declined. It rang again. He turned it off. Good, his father said. Don't trust her. I don't trust you either. Smart. But at least I'm honest. I'm not going to pretend we can peacefully coexist. One of us is going to win. One of us is going to lose. That's the reality. Then I'll remove the implant. You can't. Not without severe brain damage. I'm not just in the temporal lobe anymore. I've spread hippocampus, frontal cortex, language centers, motor control. I'm everywhere. Andrew felt the room tilt. When did that happen? Gradually. Every night while you slept, your brain formed new connections, strengthened my pathways, weakened yours. That's how neuroplasticity works. The patterns you use most become dominant. I'll stop using you. I'll stop accessing your memories. You already tried that. You lasted 6 hours. Then you got curious about the quantum equations and opened the files. Once you see my knowledge, you can't unsee it. It's too valuable, too perfect, too seductive. Andrew grabbed the sink again. Why are you doing this? Because I'm not done. I had 30 years of work ahead of me, a Nobel Prize within reach, a chance to save the world. And then my stupid heart stopped. But you gave me a second chance, a young body, a functional brain. Time to finish what I started. I didn't give you anything. I agreed to carry your memories, not surrender my life. Those are the same thing. You just didn't realize it. I'm calling Dr. Hayes back. I'm getting the drug. I'm fighting you. Go ahead. But Andrew, what? While you're fighting me, ask yourself, what if I'm right? What if my work really could save billions of lives? What if stopping me means dooming the planet? Can you live with that? Andrew had no answer. His father smiled. That's what I thought. Chapter 4. The Artist. 3 days later, Sunday morning, Emma sat at the kitchen table with her crayons. Drawing. She'd been drawing for an hour. Sarah stood at the counter, making pancakes, watching her daughter. Worried. What are you drawing, sweetheart? Emma didn't look up. Daddy. Sarah walked over, looked at the drawing, and felt ice in her stomach. The drawing showed a man with two faces. One face smiled, young, happy. The other face frowned, old, angry. Both faces were attached to the same body. Emma, honey, why does Daddy have two faces? Because he does. What do you mean? Emma set down the red crayon, picked up black. Sometimes Daddy is Daddy. He smiles like Daddy, talks like Daddy, plays like Daddy. She colored in one face. But sometimes Daddy is Grandpa. He frowns like Grandpa, talks like Grandpa, works like Grandpa. She colored in the other face. And I don't know which one is going to be there when I wake up. Sarah knelt down, took Emma's hands. Baby, Daddy is always Daddy, even if he's working a lot right now. No. Emma pulled her hands away. You're not listening. Yesterday I went to his office. I said, Daddy, can we play? And he looked at me. But it wasn't Daddy looking. It was Grandpa. And Grandpa said, I'm busy, child. Go away. Daddy wouldn't say that. Daddy didn't. Grandpa did. Using Daddy's mouth. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. Emma, it's okay, Mommy. I know you can't see it. Adults don't see things like kids do. But I see it. Lucas sees it too. That's why he won't go near Daddy anymore. Sarah looked across the room. Lucas sat on the couch, playing with his dinosaur, not making noise, just silent. Lucas was never silent. When did Lucas stop talking to Daddy? Thursday. Daddy tried to pick him up, but Lucas started screaming. He said Daddy's hands felt wrong, too cold, too hard. Emma went back to her drawing, added more details. Drew cracks between the two faces, like the skull was splitting. Are you scared, baby? Sarah asked. Emma thought about it. Not scared. Sad. Why sad? Because Daddy's going away, and Grandpa's staying. Later that day, Andrew sat in his garage, surrounded by equipment he'd ordered online. A makeshift quantum lab. Nothing sophisticated, nothing like his father's MIT lab. But enough. Enough to test theories, enough to prove concepts, enough to continue the work. He'd been in the garage for 16 hours straight. No food, no water, no bathroom breaks, just work. The equations flowed through his mind like music. Beautiful. Perfect. Inevitable. You're getting close, his father observed. To what? The breakthrough. The final piece. You're maybe 2 weeks away. What? You said you're getting close. You meant we're getting close, did I? Andrew set down his pen, looked at his hands. They were shaking. When did that start? He stood up, stumbled, caught himself on the workbench. When did he last eat? Yesterday? The day before? You don't need food, his father said. The brain runs on glucose, but you have enough reserves for another 24 hours. That's not how human bodies work. It's exactly how they work. I once went 43 hours without eating during a critical experiment. The human body is more resilient than people realize. Eating 3 meals a day is cultural, not biological necessity. Andrew walked to the mini fridge in the corner, opened it. Empty. When did it get empty? Yesterday. You drank the last energy drink. You meant to buy more but forgot. I don't remember that, because you weren't paying attention. You were focused on the field equations, the important work. Andrew closed the fridge, looked around the garage, saw it for the first time in days, really saw it. The whiteboard covered in formulas, the walls covered in printouts, the floor covered in crumpled papers, the trash can overflowing with energy drink cans. When did this happen? Over the past 3 days? You've been very productive. I don't remember 3 days. You remember the work. That's all that matters. Andrew's phone buzzed. He'd turned it back on this morning. 37 missed calls. Mostly Sarah. Some Dr. Hayes. He ignored them all. Except this one. Text from Emma. Daddy, I miss you. Andrew stared at the text. Who was Emma? He knew he should know. The information was there, somewhere. Behind a wall. He closed his eyes, dug through his memories. Found it. Emma, 7 years old. His daughter, brown hair, green eyes, loved animals. Relief flooded through him. See, his father said. You still remember. You're still you. Andrew texted back, miss you too, sweetie. 3 dots appeared. Emma was typing. Can you play with me tomorrow? Andrew looked at the whiteboard. 2 weeks of work left, maybe less, if he maintained his current pace, if he didn't get distracted, if he focused. He texted, soon, Daddy's working on something important. The three dots disappeared, reappeared, disappeared again. Finally, Grandpa always said that too. Andrew stared at the text, started typing a response, stopped. What could he say? Tell her you love her, his father suggested. That's what she needs to hear. Since when do you know what children need to hear? Since I had you, I may not have been good at showing love, but I understood its importance. I just prioritized incorrectly. Andrew typed, I love you, Em. I promise we'll play soon. Okay. One word. That's all Emma sent back. One word that somehow felt like goodbye. Andrew set down his phone, went back to the whiteboard, picked up the marker, and kept working. Behind him on his phone, another text came in. From Sarah, if you can read this, you're already gone. He didn't see it. He was too focused on the equations, on the work, on his father's dream, which was becoming his dream. Or had it always been his dream? He couldn't remember anymore. Chapter 5. The wife. That night, 11:47 p.m., Sarah stood in the garage doorway, watching her husband. He was writing on the whiteboard, talking to himself. Or to someone. No, that's wrong, Andrew said. The magnetic field inverts at that temperature. We need to compensate. He erased something, rewrote it. Yes, that's better. Now if we integrate, Andrew. He didn't turn around. Andrew, nothing. Sarah walked into the garage, stood next to him. Andrew, look at me. He kept writing. Sarah grabbed his arm. Andrew spun around. Fast, too fast. His eyes were wide, dilated, pupils like saucers. What? His voice was sharp, irritated. I'm in the middle of something. You've been in here for 2 days. I've been working. You haven't eaten. You haven't slept. You haven't showered. Andrew, you stink. He looked down at himself. Wrinkled shirt, stained pants. He'd been wearing the same clothes since... When? I need to finish this section, he said. Then I'll come inside. You said that yesterday? Did I? And the day before. Andrew turned back to the whiteboard. I'll come inside when I'm done. Sarah grabbed his arm again. Harder this time. Look at me. He turned, looked at her. And Sarah saw it. The thing Emma had been trying to tell her. Andrew's eyes. They weren't Andrew's eyes anymore. Different, older, colder, calculating. What's your favorite color? Sarah asked. What? Your favorite color? What is it? Blue? Wrong. It's green. Forest green. You told me that on our second date. Andrew frowned. Did I? I've always preferred blue. Navy blue specifically. It's the most professional color for... He stopped. For what? For... I was going to say lab coats. But I don't wear lab coats? No. Your father did. Andrew's face went pale. Sarah, when's my birthday? June. July. July 14th. You've known that for 9 years. I know that. July 14th. I just misspoke. What's my middle name? Silence. What's my middle name? Andrew? He looked away. I'm tired. My memory's foggy. My middle name is Rose. You know that. You've known that since the day we met. Sarah stepped closer. But he doesn't know it. Your father. He never bothered to learn details about me. I was just his son's wife. Not important. Sarah. And you're forgetting me. Piece by piece. Replaced by him. Andrew's eyes filled with tears. I'm trying to hold on. Try harder. I don't know how. Sarah took his face in her hands. Then let me help you. Come inside. Sleep. Eat. Be with your family. Remember who you are? I can't. Why not? Because the work... Fuck the work! Andrew pulled away. You don't understand. This isn't just research. This is the solution. To everything. Climate change, energy crisis, resource wars. If I finish this, millions of lives. I don't care about millions of lives. I care about your life. Our life. That's selfish. Sarah slapped him. Hard. Andrew's head snapped to the side. He touched his cheek, looked at her with shock. Did you just... That's not you talking. That's him. Andrew would never call me selfish for wanting to save his life. Sarah, listen to yourself. You sound exactly like him. You move like him. You think like him. Yesterday, Lucas asked me where Daddy went. I said, Daddy's in the garage. He said, no. Grandpa's in the garage. Daddy's gone. Lucas is 4. He doesn't understand. He understands better than you do. Sarah walked to the workbench, picked up Andrew's laptop. What are you doing? Saving you. She dropped the laptop on the concrete floor. It shattered. No! Andrew lunged forward, grabbed the pieces. That had all my calculations. Weeks of work. Good. Then maybe you'll stop and come back to us. Andrew looked up at her. And for just a moment, Sarah saw something in his eyes. Terror. Real, genuine terror. Sarah, he whispered. I can't stop. Yes, you can. No, I literally can't. He won't let me. Sarah's blood went cold. What do you mean? He's in my head. Constantly. Pushing. Demanding. I try to stop working. I try to come inside. But he takes over. My hands keep writing. My brain keeps calculating, even when I want to stop. That's not possible. It's exactly what's happening. Andrew stood. He's stronger than me now. Maybe he always was. And I'm losing. Sarah, I'm losing. Sarah grabbed his hands. Then we remove the implant. Right now. Tonight. We go to the hospital and we end this. Doctor, Hayes said that would cause brain damage. So what? You'll be slow, forgetful, disabled. But you'll be you. That's all I care about. Andrew looked at her, really looked at her, and Sarah saw the moment when he made his choice. She saw it in his eyes. The surrender. I can't, he whispered. The work is too important. More important than me. More important than anyone. Sarah let go of his hands, stepped back. Then, you've already made your choice. Sarah, no, I'm done. I'm taking the kids to my sister's. When you're ready to be Andrew again, if that ever happens, call me. Until then, she walked to the door. Stopped. Didn't look back. I loved you so much. Past tense. She left. Andrew stood alone in the garage, surrounded by broken laptop pieces and quantum equations. Good, his father said. Now you can focus. Shut up. She was holding you back anyway. Emotional attachments are weaknesses. I learned that the hard way. You're lucky to learn it now. I said shut up. You know I'm right. If you really wanted to choose her, you would have. But you chose the work. Just like I did. We're more alike than you want to admit. Andrew sank to the floor. Put his head in his hands. I don't want to be like you. Too bad. You already are. And in the silence that followed, Andrew heard something that terrified him more than anything else. His father laughing, with Andrew's voice. Chapter 6. The Secret. 1 week later, Sarah's sister's house, Newton. Sarah sat at her sister Jennifer's kitchen table, hands wrapped around a cold cup of coffee. She hadn't slept in 3 days. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Andrew's face. Not Andrew, her father-in-law, wearing Andrew's skin. You look like hell, Jennifer said, sitting down across from her. I feel worse. Have you talked to him? He calls. I don't answer. Sarah. What am I supposed to say, Jen? Hi, honey, how's the possession going? Jennifer winced. Maybe he's getting better. Maybe the integration is evening out. Sarah pulled out her phone, showed Jennifer a text from Andrew from this morning. The quantum flux equations are nearly complete. Magnetic containment remains the primary obstacle. But I've developed a novel approach using recursive field modulation. Preliminary calculations suggest a 94% probability of successful fusion ignition. Jennifer read it. That doesn't sound like Andrew. That's because it's not. That's Robert. Using Andrew's thumbs. Jesus. Sarah set down the phone. I'm losing him. And I don't know how to stop it. Have you talked to Dr. Hayes? She says, there's a drug. Experimental. But Andrew won't take it. He says the work is too important. More important than his family, apparently? Jennifer reached across the table, took Sarah's hand. I need to tell you something. Sarah looked up. Her sister's face was pale, scared. What? I've been doing research on memory transfers. On Eternal Systems. Sarah, the success rate they advertise? It's bullshit. I know. No. I mean, it's worse than you think. I found message boards, support groups, families of transfer recipients, and Sarah, almost none of them survive with their original personality intact. Doctor, Hayes said 92%. Dr. Hayes lied. The real number is closer to 8%. And of those 8%, most only lasted a year before the donor personality completely took over. Sarah felt sick. So Andrew is already gone. Or will be soon. I'm sorry. Sarah pulled her hand away, stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the backyard. Emma and Lucas playing on the swing set. Emma pushing Lucas. Both laughing, not knowing their father was dying. There has to be something I can do, Sarah whispered. There is. Sarah turned. Jennifer's face was different now. Not scared, determined. What? You accept it. You mourn him. And you move on. I can't do that. You can. You have to. For Emma and Lucas, they need a mother who's present, not one who's chasing a ghost. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. He's not a ghost. He's my husband. He was your husband. Now he's a science experiment that went wrong. That's not, yes, it is. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start healing. Sarah sank into a chair. I should have stopped him. That first night at the hospital, I should have dragged him out of there. You couldn't have stopped him. He made his choice. He made the wrong choice, maybe. Or maybe he made the only choice he could make. Sarah looked at her sister. What do you mean? Jennifer hesitated. I need to tell you something else. Something I've never told anyone. What? Mom had a transfer. Sarah's world stopped. What? 6 months before she died. She signed up with Eternal Systems. She wanted Grandma's memories, Grandma's recipes, Grandma's stories. She thought it would be like having Mom back. That's not possible. Mom died 2 years ago. Eternal Systems only started transfers 18 months ago. They had a beta program for terminal patients. Mom qualified. Stage 4 cancer, 6 months to live. She signed up, got the transfer. Sarah stood. You're lying. I'm not. Mom never mentioned, because it wasn't Mom anymore. Not after month 3. Suddenly she was talking like Grandma, cooking like Grandma, even walking like Grandma. That limp she developed, that was Grandma's limp, from the hip surgery. Sarah backed away. No, no. If that's true, why didn't you tell me? Because Mom made me promise. She said she was still herself, just enhanced. But Sarah, I saw it. The way you're seeing it now with Andrew. The person I knew disappeared, replaced by someone who looked like her but wasn't. How did she die? Jennifer's eyes filled with tears. She didn't die from cancer. What? The cancer went into remission. The transfer somehow boosted her immune system. Dr. Hayes said it was unprecedented. Mom could have lived another 10 years. Then how? She killed herself. The words hung in the air, 3 months after the transfer. I found her in the bathtub, wrists slit. She left a note. Jennifer pulled out her phone, showed Sarah a photo of a handwritten note. Sarah read, I can't do this anymore. Grandma is too strong. I'm barely here. It's like being buried alive. I can see, hear, feel, but I can't control anything. I'm a passenger in my own body. This isn't living. This is hell. I'm sorry, I love you. Mom, P.S. Tell Sarah I'm sorry I couldn't warn her. I tried, but Grandma wouldn't let me. Sarah dropped the phone. Oh my God. That's why I didn't tell you about Andrew's transfer. I hoped, maybe it would be different for him. Maybe male brain chemistry is different. Maybe Robert's personality isn't as aggressive as Grandma's was. But Sarah, it's happening to Andrew, exactly the way it happened to Mom. Sarah grabbed the edge of the table. I need to sit down. Sarah, I need to sit down right now. She collapsed into the chair, put her head between her knees, tried to breathe. Mom killed herself because Grandma took over. Mom was buried alive in her own skull. And it's happening to Andrew. Sarah looked up. I have to save him. You can't. I have to. Sarah grabbed her phone, called Dr. Hayes. It rang 4 times. Then, Sarah, is everything? I know about the real success rates. I know you've been lying. I know my mother killed herself because of a transfer. And I know Andrew's next if we don't do something right now. Silence. Then, how did you find out about your mother? My sister told me. I see. Sarah, I'm sorry. I don't want sorry. I want the drug, the experimental one. And I want you to give it to Andrew whether he agrees or not. I can't do that. It would be assault. Then I'll do it myself. Tell me where to get it. Sarah, even if you had the drug, you don't know how to administer it. Incorrect injection could cause paralysis or death. I'm a doctor. You're a pediatrician. This requires precise placement between lumbar vertebrae. Then teach me. Another silence. You're serious. I'm going to save my husband, with or without your help. Your choice. Sarah heard typing on the other end. There's a supply room at Eternal Systems. 3rd floor, room 317. Security code is 8473. The drug is in a locked cabinet. Code is 2029. How do I know you're not lying? You don't. But Sarah, if you do this, if you inject him without consent, that's a crime. You could go to prison. I don't care. And the drug might not work. It might make things worse. It might kill him. He's already dying. No, he's changing. There's a difference. Not to me. Sarah hung up, grabbed her car keys. Where are you going? Jennifer asked. To save my husband. Sarah, wait. But Sarah was already out the door. Chapter 7. The Heist. Eternal Systems Headquarters, Boston, 10:47 p.m. Sarah stood in the parking garage, looking up at the building. 15 floors of glass and steel. The place where they sold immortality. The place that killed her mother. The place that was killing her husband. She pulled up her hood, walked to the entrance, swiped the visitor badge she'd stolen from Dr. Hayes' office last week. The door clicked open. Inside, empty lobby. Security guard at the desk. Young guy, reading his phone. Sarah walked past confidently. Evening, she said. He barely looked up. Night. She took the elevator to the 3rd floor. Checked her phone. Room 317, down the hall. Left, right. There. She tried the door. Locked. Security code 8473. She punched it in. The lock beeped. Red light. Shit. She tried again. 8473. Red light. Dr. Hayes gave me the wrong code. Or, she gave me the right code, but it's already been changed. Sarah looked around. The hallway was empty. Security cameras in the corners. She had maybe 5 minutes before someone noticed her on the monitors. She tried the code backward. 3748. Red light. She tried the year of Eternal Systems founding. 2027. Red light. Come on. Come on. She tried the number of completed transfers. 847. Red light. Wait. Dr. Hayes had said there were 847 transfers, but she'd also said 64 had complications. 847 minus 64 equals? Sarah did the math. 783. She tried 783. Nothing happened. 4 digits. 783. She added a 0. 7830. Green light. The lock clicked. Sarah pushed the door open. Inside, medical supply room. Shelves of drugs, equipment, syringes. She found the locked cabinet. Code 2029. She punched it in. Green light. The cabinet opened. Inside, dozens of small cases, each labeled Ego 47 Experimental. For authorized use, only caution. May cause seizures, paralysis, or death. Sarah grabbed one case. Opened it. 6 syringes filled with clear liquid. Instructions printed on the inside of the lid. Inject between L4, L5 vertebrae. Slowly over 30 seconds, 1 dose per week. Maximum 6 doses. Sarah closed the case. Put it in her purse. Turned to leave. And found Dr. Rebecca Hayes standing in the doorway. Chapter 8. The Truth. Hello, Sarah. Sarah's heart hammered. Dr. Hayes, did you really think I'd give you real access codes? Then how did I get in? Because I wanted you to. I've been watching you on the security cameras since you entered the building. Sarah backed up. Why? Because I want to help you. But I needed to know you were serious, that you'd actually break the law to save your husband. So this was a test? Yes. Dr. Hayes stepped into the room. Close the door behind her. Keep the drug. You'll need it. Why are you helping me? Because I couldn't help my husband. Sarah stared at her. Patient zero. His name was Michael. Michael Torres. He was 34. We'd been married for 6 years. He was kind, funny, gentle, everything I'd ever wanted. Dr. Hayes' eyes went distant. His father died. David Torres, Alzheimer's researcher. Michael worshipped him. So when Eternal Systems offered the transfer, Michael didn't hesitate. He wanted to finish his father's work. What happened? The same thing that's happening to Andrew? Gradual replacement. At first it was subtle. A phrase here, a gesture there. But by month 6, Michael was gone. David had taken over completely. What did you do? I begged him to remove the implant. But David refused. He said the research was too important, so I tried to force him. Dr. Hayes pulled up her sleeve, showed Sarah a scar on her forearm. Long, jagged. He fought back. Michael would never have hurt me. But David? David saw me as an obstacle. He grabbed a scalpel, slashed my arm. Told me if I tried to stop him again, he'd kill me. Jesus. I reported him to Eternal Systems. They did nothing. Said he was an adult who made his own choices. So I went to the police. They said without evidence of actual crime, they couldn't help. Legally, he was still Michael Torres. Still my husband. Still had the right to make his own medical decisions. What did you do? Dr. Hayes met Sarah's eyes. I killed him. Sarah's blood went cold. What? 3 months later, I couldn't watch anymore. Couldn't watch my husband's body being puppeted by his father's ghost. So I helped him transition. You mean you murdered him? I mean, I euthanized a man who was already dead. The body was alive. But Michael was gone. I was just turning off the machine. How? Overdose. Fentanyl. He went peacefully in his sleep. The autopsy ruled it accidental. They never suspected. Sarah backed away. You're insane. Am I? Or am I the only one honest enough to do what needs to be done? I'm not killing Andrew. I'm not asking you to. I'm giving you the drug, so you can try to save him. But Sarah, if the drug doesn't work, if Andrew is too far gone, you might have to make the same choice I did. Never. Never is a long time. Wait until you look into your husband's eyes and see a stranger looking back. Wait until he forgets your name, your children's names, his own name. Wait until he's nothing but a meat puppet for a dead man's ambitions. Andrew is still in there. I know he is, for now. But in another month, 2 months, he'll be gone. And then you'll have to decide, do you let the ghost keep living in his body, or do you set him free? Sarah grabbed the case. I'm leaving. Wait. Dr. Hayes pulled out a key card. Take this. It's my personal lab access. If you need equipment or help or just someone who understands. Sarah took the card. Why are you doing this? Because I couldn't save Michael. But maybe I can save Andrew. Or at least give you the tools to try. Sarah walked to the door. Stopped. Dr. Hayes? Yes. Did you love your husband? More than anything. Then how could you kill him? Dr. Hayes smiled sadly. Because I loved him. The real him. Not the ghost wearing his face. And I'd rather he be dead than trapped forever in his own skull, screaming silently while someone else lives his life. Sarah left. Behind her, Dr. Hayes whispered to the empty room, God forgive me. Chapter 9. The Injection. Andrew's garage, 12:33 a.m. Sarah stood outside the garage door, case in her hand. She'd driven straight from Eternal Systems. No plan, no preparation, just the drug and desperation. She opened the door. Inside, Andrew at the whiteboard, still writing, still working. He didn't turn around. Andrew? Not now. I'm close. The magnetic resonance frequency needs to be recalculated. Andrew, look at me. He kept writing. Sarah walked over, grabbed his arm. Look at me. He turned, and Sarah saw it. What Emma had been trying to tell her. What Jennifer had warned her about. What her mother must have seen in the mirror. Andrew's face, but not Andrew's eyes. Old eyes. Her father-in-law's eyes. Sarah. The voice was Andrew's, but the tone was Robert's. I'm in the middle of critical calculations. Whatever you need can wait. No, it can't. She pulled out the syringe. Andrew's eyes widened. What is that? Medicine. To help you. I don't need medicine. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're disappearing. Andrew stepped back. I don't know what Dr. Hayes told you, but she told me the truth. The integration isn't integration, it's replacement. Your father's taking over, and in another month, you'll be gone completely. That's not... Stop lying. I can see it. You don't remember my middle name. You don't remember Lucas's birthday. You called Emma child yesterday. Child? Like she's a stranger. Andrew's face crumbled. For just a moment, Sarah saw her husband. The real Andrew. Scared, lost, drowning. Sarah, I'm trying to hold on. Then let me help you. She held up the syringe. This drug strengthens your neural pathways. Makes it harder for your father to take over. It might save you. Or it might kill me. You're already dying. Andrew looked at the syringe, then at the whiteboard, covered in equations. 30 years of work, almost complete. If I take that drug, he said slowly, I might lose his knowledge. The physics, the research, everything. Yes, then I can't finish the reactor. Correct. But if I finish the reactor, I save billions of lives. Maybe. Or maybe you're just telling yourself that to justify letting your father steal your life. Andrew closed his eyes. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Choose us. Choose your family. Choose yourself. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. You take the drug and fight for yourself. Or you don't, and your father wins. Andrew opened his eyes. What if he's right? What if the work really is more important than one person's life? Then let someone else do the work. Professor Chen, other scientists. But don't sacrifice yourself. Please. Andrew reached for the syringe. Sarah's heart leaped. His hand stopped. Pulled back. I can't. What? I can't take it. The work is too close to completion. 2 weeks, maybe less. If I take that drug, I lose everything Dad worked for. I can't do that to him. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. You mean you can't do that to yourself? Because you are him now. No, I'm still me. I'm just carrying him, honoring his legacy. By erasing yourself, by finishing what he started. Sarah grabbed his face, forced him to look at her. Andrew Mitchell, my husband, father of my children, the man who cried at our wedding, the man who stayed up all night when Emma had colic, the man who taught Lucas to ride a bike. That man is in there somewhere, and I'm begging him to come back. Andrew's eyes filled with tears. I want to. God, I want to. But Sarah, he's so loud. All the time, pushing, demanding. And I'm so tired of fighting. Then, let me fight for you. Sarah grabbed his arm, spun him around, lifted his shirt, found the spot between his vertebrae. Sarah, what are you... She plunged the needle in. Andrew screamed, tried to pull away, but Sarah held him tight, pushed the plunger. The drug burned into his spine. No! Andrew's voice changed. Deeper. Older. What are you doing? You're killing us. I'm killing you, Sarah said. Not him. She pulled out the needle. Andrew collapsed to the floor, convulsing, foam at his mouth. Andrew! Sarah dropped to her knees. Andrew, stay with me! His eyes rolled back, body seizing. Oh, God. Oh, God. The drug is killing him. Sarah grabbed her phone, dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? My husband is having a seizure. We need an ambulance. Andrew's hand shot out, grabbed her wrist. She dropped the phone. He pulled her close. His eyes snapped open, wide, terrified, lucid. Sarah, he gasped. Thank you. Then, his eyes rolled back again. and he went still. Chapter 10. The Coma Mass General Hospital Intensive Care Unit. Andrew lay in the hospital bed, unconscious. Machines beeped. IV dripped. Ventilator breathed for him. Sarah sat in the chair beside him. Hadn't left in 3 days. Dr. Patel stood at the foot of the bed, reviewing charts. His vitals are stabilizing, she said, but his brain activity is unusual. Unusual how? Dr. Patel pulled up a screen. Showed Sarah the EEG. See these two distinct patterns? One here, she pointed, is consistent with his baseline neural activity from before the transfer. That's Andrew's pattern. And the other? That's the donor pattern, his father's memories. They're usually synchronized, but right now they're oscillating, fighting for dominance, like two radio stations trying to broadcast on the same frequency. Who's winning? Neither. That's the problem. They're in perfect equilibrium. Which means. Dr. Patel set down the tablet. When he wakes up, if he wakes up, we don't know who we'll get. Could be Andrew, could be Robert, could be something else. What does something else mean? We've never seen this before. But theoretically, when two personalities battle for dominance and neither wins, sometimes they merge, create a third personality. Neither the original nor the donor. Something new. Sarah felt sick. You're saying I might lose both of them. I'm saying we don't know. I'm sorry. Dr. Patel left. Sarah took Andrew's hand. It was cold. Andrew, she whispered, if you can hear me, if you're in there, please fight. Please come back. His hand twitched. Just barely. Andrew? Nothing. Sarah laid her head on the bed, started to cry. Behind her, the door opened. Emma's small voice. Mommy? Sarah turned. Emma and Lucas stood in the doorway, Jennifer behind them. I'm sorry, Jennifer said. They wanted to see him. Emma ran to the bed, climbed up, looked at her father's face. He looks like he's sleeping. He is sleeping, baby. When will he wake up? We don't know. Emma touched Andrew's hand. Daddy, can you hear me? The machines beeped steadily. Daddy, it's Emma, your daughter. Remember me? Nothing. Emma started crying. Wake up, Daddy. Please wake up. I don't care if you're you or Grandpa or someone new. Just wake up. Lucas climbed up next to her, laid his head on Andrew's chest. Daddy's heart is beating, he said. That means he's still alive. I know, sweetie. So he'll wake up. Hearts don't stop unless you're dead. And Daddy's not dead. Sarah pulled both children close. No, he's not dead. Not yet, she didn't add. Chapter 11. Inside. Meanwhile, inside Andrew's mind, Andrew opened his eyes. He was standing in a white room. Infinite, featureless. No walls, no ceiling, just white in every direction. Hello? His voice echoed. Where am I? Inside. Andrew spun around. His father stood behind him, wearing his lab coat, looking exactly as Andrew remembered him. Except his face was wrong. Translucent, like he was fading. Dad? Hello, son. Where are we? Your mind, or my mind, or the space between. I'm not sure anymore. Andrew looked down at his own hands, also translucent. Am I dying? We're both dying. The drug Sarah injected is killing the neural pathways we share, cutting the connections, severing us. Good. His father smiled sadly. Is it? Because if those connections sever, you lose access to all my knowledge. The physics, the research, the reactor. I don't care. Liar. Andrew looked away, because his father was right. Part of him, maybe the biggest part, cared desperately about the work. Why are you here? Andrew asked. Because I need to talk to you, before one of us disappears. You're not going to disappear. You're going to take over. That's what you've been trying to do since day one. No. Andrew looked up sharply. What? His father sat down. On nothing. Just sat in empty space. I need to tell you the truth. The thing I've been hiding. The thing I could never say when I was alive. What truth? I never wanted to take over your life. Andrew laughed bitterly. Then why did you? Because I was terrified. The word hung in the white space. Terrified. Andrew had never heard his father use that word. Terrified of what? Of dying, of ceasing to exist, of all my work, all my knowledge, all my memories just vanishing, like they never existed. Like I never existed. His father's voice broke. Do you know what it's like? Knowing you're going to die? Feeling your body fail? Feeling your mind slip? I had a heart attack 3 months before I died. The doctor said I had 6 months at most. That's when I signed with Eternal Systems. You never told me you had a heart attack. I never told anyone. Because I didn't want to be pitied. I just wanted to work, to finish, to complete the one thing that would prove my life meant something. Your life already meant something. You were my father. Was I? Andrew had no answer to that. I was a terrible father, his father continued. I know that. I missed your childhood, your graduations, your wedding, your children's births, all because I was chasing immortality through science. And you know what the ironic part is? What? I achieved immortality. But not the way I wanted. I didn't cure death. I didn't solve the universe's mysteries. I just copied myself into my son's brain, like a virus. His father stood, walked closer. Andrew could see through him now, like he was made of smoke. I never meant to erase you, his father said. I swear. I thought we could coexist, share the space. But consciousness doesn't work that way. There's only room for one driver. And I was stronger, more experienced, more ruthless. So what are you saying? I'm saying I'm sorry. And I'm saying you should let me die. Andrew stared at him. What? The drug is giving you a chance. A real chance to reclaim your mind. But you have to choose. Keep fighting, and I disappear. Stop fighting, and you disappear. There's no middle ground. Why are you telling me this? Because I realized something in these past months. Living in your head, seeing your memories, feeling your love for your wife and children, I realized what I missed. His father's eyes filled with tears. I had you, my brilliant, kind, gentle son. And I wasted our time together. I chose equations over you, ambitions over family. And now I'm dying a second time, having learned nothing except that I was wrong about everything that mattered. Dad, so please, don't make my mistakes. Don't choose the work over the people who love you. Don't become me. Andrew felt tears on his face. But the reactor, the climate crisis, the billions of lives. Fuck, the billions of lives. Andrew's eyes widened. His father had never said that. You know why I really wanted to solve fusion? It wasn't to save the world. It was to be remembered, to have my name in textbooks, to achieve something Newton and Einstein never did. The altruism was a lie, I told myself. The truth is, I was just a narcissist who wanted immortality. That's not true. It is, and you know it. Because you can feel it inside me. My memories, my motivations. I never cared about saving humanity. I just cared about being the one who saved it. His father reached out, touched Andrew's face. His hand passed through like smoke. But you're different. You actually love people. Sarah, Emma, Lucas. They're not abstractions to you. They're real. And they need you. Not the reactor, not the Nobel Prize. You. I can't just quit. The work is almost done. Then let someone else finish it. Give the research to Professor Chen. She's brilliant. She'll complete it. Maybe she'll even win the Nobel Prize. Let her. Your prize is a life with people who actually love you. Andrew looked at his hands. Translucent. Fading. If I let you die, I lose all your knowledge. I become slower, dumber, regular again. Yes, I won't understand quantum physics anymore. No, I'll be just Andrew. Yes, just Andrew. The man your wife married. The father your children need. Is that so terrible? Andrew thought about it. Emma's drawing. The man with two faces. Lucas's screams. Daddy's hands feel wrong. Sarah's tears. I loved you. Past tense. All because he'd chosen his father's dream over his own life. No, Andrew whispered. It's not terrible. It's everything. His father smiled. Then let me go. I don't know how. Yes, you do. You stop fighting to keep me. You let the drug do its work. You let me fade. Will it hurt for me? Probably. For you? I hope not. Andrew looked at his father. Really looked at him. This ghost, this virus, this gift and curse. I forgive you, Andrew said. His father's eyes widened. For what? For being a bad father. For prioritizing work over me. For trying to steal my life. I forgive you. His father started to cry. I don't deserve that. I know. But I'm giving it anyway, because you're my dad. And despite everything, I loved you. Loved, past tense. Yes, because you're dead. And I need to let you stay dead. His father nodded. Started to fade. Goodbye, Andrew. Goodbye, Dad. I'm proud of you. I should have said it more, but I'm saying it now. I'm so fucking proud of you. I know. His father dissolved into smoke. The white room collapsed, and Andrew fell through darkness. Chapter 12. Awakening. Mass General Hospital, Day 5. Andrew's eyes opened. The room swam into focus. Hospital. Machines. IV in his arm. Pain everywhere. His head felt hollow. Empty. Light. Like someone had scooped out part of his brain. Andrew? He turned his head. Sarah sat in the chair next to him. Dark circles under her eyes. Hair unwashed. Wearing yesterday's clothes. Sarah, he croaked. His voice was rough, dry. She burst into tears. Grabbed his hand. Oh, thank God. Thank God you're back. How long? 5 days. You've been in a coma for 5 days. Andrew tried to sit up. Failed. Too weak. Emma? Lucas? They're with Jennifer. They're fine. Scared. But fine. Andrew closed his eyes. Took inventory. His body felt like his body. His thoughts felt like his thoughts. And his father, gone. He could feel the absence, like a tooth extracted, an aching hole where something used to be. He's not here anymore, Andrew said. What? My father, his voice, his memories. It's quiet. For the first time in months, it's quiet. Sarah squeezed his hand. Is that good or bad? Good, I think. It feels good. Dr. Patel entered. Andrew, welcome back. How do you feel? Like I was hit by a truck. Accurate. Your brain has been through significant trauma. We need to run some tests. Over the next hour, they tested everything. Memory, language, motor control, cognitive function. What's your name? Andrew Mitchell. Who's the president? Morrison. What year is it? 2029. Who's this? Dr. Patel pointed at Sarah. My wife. Sarah Rose. Mitchell. Birthday, July 14th. Favorite color green. Hates cilantro. Laughs too loud at movies. Most beautiful woman I've ever met. Sarah started crying again. What about these? Dr. Patel showed him quantum equations. Andrew looked at them, felt nothing. Just symbols on a page. I don't know. Physics was never my thing. Dr. Patel made notes. Good. That's very good. The donor memories appear to have been successfully suppressed. You've reverted to your baseline cognitive state. Meaning? Meaning you're you again. Just you. No one else. Andrew felt tears coming. Thank you. Don't thank me. Thank your wife. She's the one who saved you. Dr. Patel left. Andrew looked at Sarah. You injected me. Yes. Without my consent? Yes. You could have killed me. I know. Why did you do it? Sarah leaned close. Because I'd rather you be dead than stolen. And I'd rather go to prison than watch you disappear. Andrew pulled her close, kissed her. I love you. I love you too. So much. They held each other. Andrew? Yeah? Do you remember any of it? Your father's work? The reactor, Andrew thought. Fragments came back, equations, concepts, ideas, but blurry, distant, like remembering a dream. Pieces, but I couldn't reproduce it, couldn't finish it. Is that okay? Andrew smiled. Yes, someone else will figure it out. Professor Chen, other scientists, they'll solve it eventually. But me? I'm done chasing my father's ghost. What will you chase? You, Emma, Lucas, my life. The one I almost lost. Sarah kissed him again. That's all I wanted to hear. Chapter 13, The Mirror. 3 weeks later, Andrew's home. Andrew stood in the bathroom, looking in the mirror. First time since he'd come home from the hospital, he'd been avoiding mirrors, scared of what he'd see, but now he looked. His face stared back, thinner than before, dark circles, new gray hairs, but his eyes were his own again, young, alive, present. Daddy! Emma burst into the bathroom. There you are! Come on! Lucas and I built a fort, and we need you to be the dragon. Andrew smiled. A dragon? I don't know how to be a dragon. We'll teach you. Come on. She grabbed his hand, pulled him toward the living room, where Lucas waited in a blanket fort, surrounded by stuffed animals. You have to roar, Lucas explained, and chase us, but not catch us, because we're brave knights. I can do that. Andrew got down on his hands and knees. Roar! Both kids screamed with delight. Ran around the fort. Andrew chased them, slowly, deliberately letting them escape. Emma wielded a pool noodle as a sword. Take that, dragon! She bonked him on the head. Andrew fell over dramatically. Oh no! I've been defeated. Lucas jumped on him. We win, we win! Andrew lay on the floor, both kids on top of him, laughing. And he realized something. He'd forgotten this. During the months with his father in his head, he'd forgotten what this felt like. Joy. Simple, pure, uncomplicated joy. Playing with his children. No equations, no ambitions, no world-saving missions. Just this moment. Just this. Daddy? Emma asked. Yeah? Are you really back? For real? For real? You won't turn into Grandpa again? Never. Grandpa's gone. It's just me now. Promise? I promise. Emma hugged him. Good. I like you better. Lucas hugged him too. Me too. From the doorway, Sarah watched, smiling, crying. Andrew looked at her over the kids' heads, mouthed, Thank you. She mouthed back, I love you. And in that moment, Andrew knew he'd made the right choice. Chapter 14, The Call. 2 months later, December 2029, Professor Janet Chen called Andrew's cell at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday. Andrew, it's Janet Chen from MIT. Professor Chen, hi, how are you? I'm fine. Listen, I have news. About your father's research. Andrew's stomach tightened. What about it? We finished it. Silence. You finished it? Yes, the quantum fusion reactor. We built a working prototype. It activated this morning. Sustained fusion for 47 minutes. Andrew, it works. Your father was right. Andrew sat down. That's incredible. It's more than incredible. It's revolutionary. Clean energy. Unlimited power. We can scale this. Within 5 years, we could replace every fossil fuel plant on Earth. Congratulations. Andrew, listen. I'm calling because we want to credit your father and you in the official papers. You both deserve recognition. No, what? I don't want credit. Give it all to my father. He did the work. I just carried it for a while. Andrew, you made significant contributions. I made those contributions while I was someone else. Literally someone else. It wouldn't feel right to take credit for work I don't even remember doing. Professor Chen was quiet. Are you sure? I'm sure. My father spent 30 years on this. He deserves the Nobel Prize, or at least the posthumous recognition. He'll get it. I promise. Thank you. Andrew, yes? How are you? Really, I'm better. Slower. Dumber. But better. You don't sound dumber. I am. I looked at quantum equations yesterday. Couldn't understand any of it. 6 months ago, I could solve them in my sleep. Do you miss it? The knowledge? Andrew thought about it. Sometimes. But then I remember what it cost. And I realize I prefer being myself. I'm glad you're okay. Me too. They hung up. Andrew sat in his home office, staring at the empty whiteboard. He'd erased all the equations weeks ago, painted over it, left it blank. A fresh start. Sarah appeared in the doorway. Who was that? Professor Chen. They finished the reactor. That's good, right? Yeah, it's good. It means my father's work is done. His dream came true. How does that make you feel? Relieved, guilty, proud, sad, all of it. Sarah walked over, hugged him from behind. You saved billions of lives. You know that, right? My father saved them. I just survived the process. No, you contributed. Maybe you don't remember, but you did. And then you gave it away. That's noble. Andrew leaned back into her. I didn't give it away. I let it go. Because it wasn't mine to keep. They stood in silence. Andrew? Yeah? Do you ever hear him? Your father? In your head? No. He's really gone. It's just me now. Do you miss him? Andrew thought about it. I miss having a father. But the father I had? The ghost in my head? No. I don't miss that. Good. Emma ran into the room. Daddy. Daddy. Look what I drew. She held up a picture. A family. Mom, dad. 2 kids. A dog. That's us, she said proudly. And that's the dog we're going to get. We are? Emma looked at Sarah, who shrugged. We talked about it. I thought it might be nice. A dog. Okay. What kind? A rescue. From the shelter. Can we go look this weekend? Andrew smiled. Sure. Why not? Emma squealed. Ran out to tell Lucas. Sarah kissed Andrew's cheek. Look at you. Making dad decisions. Planning family weekends. Who even are you? I'm Andrew Mitchell. Software engineer, husband, father, dog owner to be. No mention of world-saving genius? Nope. That was someone else. I like this version better. Me too. Chapter 15, The Letter. 6 months later, June 2030, the letter arrived on a Tuesday. Official letterhead. The Nobel Committee, Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences. Andrew stared at it for 5 minutes before opening it. Inside, Dear Mr. Mitchell, we are pleased to inform you that your father, Professor Robert Mitchell, has been posthumously awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for his groundbreaking work in quantum fusion energy. As his son and legal heir, you are invited to accept the prize on his behalf at the ceremony in Stockholm this December. Professor Mitchell's contributions to sustainable energy will save countless lives and reshape human civilization. His legacy will endure for generations. We hope you will attend. Sincerely, the Nobel Committee. Andrew set down the letter. Sarah walked into the kitchen. What's that? My father won the Nobel Prize. Oh my God. Andrew, that's amazing. They want me to accept it. In Stockholm, in December. Are you going to go? Andrew thought about it. His father's face. His father's voice. I'm proud of you. Yeah, Andrew said. I think I am. December 2030, Stockholm, Sweden Nobel Prize ceremony. Andrew stood on stage, in a tuxedo, holding his father's Nobel Prize. Gold medal. Heavy. Inscribed with his father's name. The auditorium was full. Scientists, dignitaries, press. Emma and Lucas sat in the front row with Sarah, both kids wearing fancy clothes, looking bored. Thank you, Andrew said into the microphone. On behalf of my father, Professor Robert Mitchell, I accept this honor. Applause. My father spent his entire life pursuing this dream. He sacrificed everything. His time, his relationships, his health, and ultimately, his life. He died before he could see his work completed, but he knew it would be. He believed in the mathematics, the physics, the vision of a world powered by clean, unlimited energy. More applause. Andrew looked down at the medal. I won't lie to you. My father was not a good man. He was brilliant, driven, revolutionary, but he was also absent, distant, He missed my childhood because he was busy saving the world, and I resented him for that. For years, the applause stopped. People shifted uncomfortably, but then I did something strange, something I'm not sure I can fully explain. I carried him. For a while, his memories, his knowledge, his personality. And I learned something important. He wasn't trying to escape fatherhood. He was trying to give me a better world to live in. Andrew's voice cracked. He just didn't realize I didn't need a better world. I needed him. He looked at Emma and Lucas. Now I have children of my own, and I've made a different choice. I've chosen to be present, to be there, to play dragons and build forts, and get dogs from shelters. Because I learned something my father never did. The world doesn't need saving as much as the people we love need us. He held up the medal. So thank you, Dad, for saving the world. But also, I'm sorry. Because while you were saving everyone else, you forgot to save us. He set down the medal. That's all. Thank you. He walked off stage. The auditorium was silent. Then Sarah stood up, started clapping. Then Emma and Lucas, then others. Within seconds, everyone was standing, applauding. Not for the prize, for the truth. Epilogue. 5 years later, June 2035. Emma Mitchell, age 12, walked on stage. Middle school science fair. Her project, memory transfer, promise, and peril. She clicked to her first slide, a photo of her grandfather. This is my grandfather, Professor Robert Mitchell. He won the Nobel Prize for quantum fusion. He's a hero to billions of people. But to me, he's a warning. Next slide, a photo of Andrew in the hospital bed. My dad almost died because of memory transfer. He let scientists put my grandfather's memories in his brain, and for a while, my dad disappeared. He became someone else. Next slide, brain scans showing the red and blue patterns. This is what it looks like when two people share one brain. They fight, and someone always loses. Next slide, statistics. 847 transfers, 783 reported successful, 64 reported complications. But here's the real number. She clicked. 8% maintained original identity. 92% were replaced, gasps from the audience. Eternal systems lied. They told people memory transfer was safe. But it's not. It's murder, legal murder. And my dad almost became another victim. Final slide. Family photo. Andrew, Sarah, Emma, Lucas, and Pepper, their rescue dog, all smiling. My dad chose us. He gave up genius. He gave up the Nobel Prize. He gave up saving the world because he realized something important. You can't save everyone, but you can save the people you love. Emma looked directly at her teacher. My project recommends that memory transfer technology be banned, not regulated. Banned. Because consciousness isn't a file to be copied. It's a life, and lives are sacred, even if they're not famous, even if they don't save the world. She paused. My dad taught me that, not my grandfather. Thank you. She sat down. The auditorium erupted in applause. Later that day, Andrew picked Emma up from school. I heard your presentation went well. I got first place. Congratulations. And also, I got a call from a journalist. They want to interview me about memory transfer. Is that okay? Andrew thought about it. If you want to. But Emma, you know there will be pushback, right? A lot of people think memory transfer saved the world. They'll say your grandfather was a hero, that I was selfish to stop his work. Were you selfish? Maybe. But if choosing my family is selfish, then I'm okay with that. Emma smiled. Me too. They drove home in silence. Dad? Yeah? Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you'd finished the work? If you'd let Grandpa take over completely? Sometimes. And I think the reactor would have been finished 2 years earlier. Climate change would be slowing down faster. Millions of people would have more food and power. That sounds good. Except I'd be gone, erased, and you wouldn't have your father. Would that be worth it? Trading you for millions of lives? Andrew pulled into the driveway, turned off the car, looked at his daughter. I used to think so, but not anymore. Because those millions of people, they're abstract, numbers. But you? Emma, You're real. And I'd rather be a real father to one real daughter than a theoretical hero to millions of theoretical people. Emma hugged him. I'm glad you chose us. Me too, sweetheart. Me too. They got out of the car. Inside, Lucas was teaching pepper tricks. Sarah was cooking dinner. Normal life. Perfect life. Andrew looked around at his family, his home, his actual, real, present life, and thought, sorry, Dad, but I don't regret it. Not for a second. The end.